welcome back to another week of the BAM Banter podcast, hosted by myself, Raxon, and KP. Say hi, KP.
Hi, Raxon. How's it going?
Changing it up. Oh my god.
That's what we like to do.
Do we? Alright, we've got a lot of soccer ahead of us to talk about with the World Cup only now, 15 days away.
15 days away, yeah.
But before we get into the World Cup, we do need to recap the Champions League that we were watching the other day. And we've got a lot to talk about.
What a game.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. So it was, for everyone who didn't watch it, it was 3-1 to Real Madrid. We both thought that would happen. But the game didn't really go how any of us would really think it would, you know?
No.
There was a lot of things that happened in this game. Liverpool played very well, and it was a pretty even game, and it really came down to the mistakes that shouldn't have happened. Like last couple weeks, we just talk about teams making mistakes. And here we go, another team making a terrible mistake in the final.
I'm pretty sure I may have said something about Karius being the key for Madrid in one of our old podcasts. I'm almost certain I said that. When we were talking about the final during the Europa League final, I said that Karius is going to mess up, and he did, so hey, happy birthday to me. But, bless you.
Thank you.
But, like, the game started off, it was pretty even in the beginning. Liverpool had way more shots, even though Madrid pretty much dominated possession all through. Like, Madrid definitely had more possession, but Liverpool were content playing, like, on the counter, just waiting for Madrid to come at them, and then they would just get their quick counterattack with Salah, Mane, and Firmino. And they were going with the 4-3-3 then, and that all changed pretty soon after Raxon. What happened in the 30th minute?
Yeah, early on in the game, huge blow, not just to Liverpool and Liverpool fans, but I think a lot of just football fans around the world, with Mo Salah going down on that tackle, which, you know, in the moment, I didn't really see much of a foul, but watching the replays of it, it's a foul. I think it's a foul.
I'm
not saying it's a red card or anything. I'm saying it's a foul.
I don't know because he got the ball, and if you watch the video closely, because I did, because, you know, I like Ramos, but also, like, I was sad to see Salah go, so I wanted to see what actually happened. I mean, you see them go down, and then it's Salah's knee. So Salah is the one who grabs Ramos in the first place. If you look at the video, Salah grabs Ramos, and then you see, like, Ramos falling because Salah's knee hit the back of his leg, and that's when Ramos starts falling. And at no point was Ramos, like, if you watch the video, like, in slow motion, you will see that at no point is Ramos really, like, trying to hurt him.
I don't think he's trying. That's why I don't think it's a card. I don't think it's something that Ramos tried to do. I think a lot of people may argue that, but
just because he is a dirty player.
Yeah, he's an aggressive player.
It's the same thing that happens to guys like Ronaldo when they actually get fouled. They get called for diving.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like, even like LeBron does it too.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Like so he's a flopper. Well, think of it. LeBron's huge.
Yeah, but that's the same thing. Like, once someone gets, like, labeled as a hard player, or so everything he's doing, you're saying, oh, he did that on purpose, he tried to get him out, and then they saw Ramos laughing or something. But that wasn't, I don't think he was, like, laughing at Salah. I think that's something, like, you see the team's best player leave, it's a little bit, there's some happiness for the rest of your team.
Yeah, from a competitive standpoint. It makes it that much easier to win the game.
Like, if Ronaldo got injured and was leaving the field, you don't think, like, Liverpool fans would be fucking just jumping in their heels and they're just pointing at Madrid fans and be like, ha ha ha. Like, stuff like that, you know? So that's just soccer.
Yeah.
Then there was another injury, though, after that.
Yeah, and the next one, not too long after, the injury to Carvajal, which very different kind of injury, which may keep him out of the World Cup.
That one is worse.
Definitely worse.
I think that one is worse.
There was not much contact in that one. That's one of those ones where if you take a weird step, that kind of injury happens. Like, yes, there was, Robertson does come into him, but I don't see that as, like, what caused the injury. It was a weird step. So. It was definitely a weird step that did it, and
I don't think
those kind of injuries last a while.
They do. He has been declared fit for the World Cup. The latest I'm seeing, this is from a lot of the big news ones, and this one is actually a publication from Madrid that says he's like Carvajal said himself that it was less than he thought. He just had bad memories from before having hamstring injuries, so the moment he felt his hamstring, and I can relate to that, dude. I've had knee injuries my whole life. The moment anything happens to my knee, I'm freaking out,
Yeah.
you know? And a lot of times it's nothing. So, yeah, that's Carvalho is okay. He's going through recovery before the World Cup, and he should start.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we are only 2 weeks out, so maybe he is fit, but a lot can happen in
but
those
that's
2
the
weeks.
same thing. That's what we were talking about with Salah and
Yeah.
Carvajal. Is like they will probably start 2 weeks from now, but are they going to be the same players
exactly.
they were before these injuries?
Yeah, they might be declared fit, but in reality, they may not actually be fit. And
Exactly.
going out there, okay, Salah's a shoulder injury, so that might be fine. But Carvalho could go out in game 1, start, and be done for the rest of the World Cup.
Oh yeah, just hurt his hamstring again.
Yeah.
Like you know, Salah can kind of like save his, you know.
Yeah, Salah with a shoulder injury, it's kind of one of
Yeah.
those ones that maybe he doesn't go for headers as much or isn't playing as aggressively, but he's still
Yeah.
able to play through it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The first big opportunity in the game, I would say, was I think it was the one for. Was it Isco?
Yeah,
It was Isco.
Isco's crossbar.
Yeah. Isco's like crossbar that I mean, a lot of people said that he should have scored, but I mean, look, Karius. You look at this video, like Karius positioning. His positioning is actually really good here.
Karius is really good positioning. He's
And
got to
that
hit it off the
That was
off
the
the
only
volley.
way, and that was the only place Isco could have hit that.
Yeah,
you know?
that was his only shot, and
Yeah.
he got very close.
Yeah,
He got
I mean,
very
you
close.
can't
That was
really.
all technique.
You can't really like talk about that and say that he messed up in any way. Like that was very good technique. What else? Like big opportunities did you see in the game? And there was
Before then, I remember Liverpool having a couple chances, but nothing too.
Alexander Arnold's shot though.
Yeah, that
that
was the one I was
was an incredible save.
Yes.
That was an incredible save by Navas. Like, people, again, Navas is one of those players. Does he get enough credit for how good a goalkeeper he is?
Yeah.
Never.
No. Yeah, he never really does. I think it's just because
incredible saves.
Yeah, maybe it's because he just plays for Real Madrid.
That's the thing.
And it's expected of you.
He plays for
you
Real
know?
Madrid, and I think his national team is the reason he's never in the spotlight. He's from Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So, like, his team, they do okay, but they're never going to be, like, the team.
Mm-hmm.
When Casillas was the goalkeeper of Madrid, who was the goalkeeper before him, like, everyone knew what Casillas was doing. Like, but we can talk about the first goal.
Yeah. Oh, God, in the 51st minute. Okay, as a goalie, I play goalie. This is one of those mistakes that you see a lot of amateur goalies make. Guys who are kids, guys who've never played in a big game before. And
Like
Karius is one of those guys.
you'd see in our pickup games.
Yeah,
or something.
exactly. It's one of those things where it's patience.
Yeah.
You know, Karius, there's a guy in front of you.
Wait. Just relax.
You have the time.
Just relax, man.
You have the time to hold on to it in your hand.
Yeah.
And
it was just the
forward
occasion.
yeah.
The occasion. It was 0-0, and I think it just got to him, and he was just trying to rush things. But the thing is, like, you have time. You know, when the score is 0-0, it is anyone's ball game. Like, that's one thing. Like, a lot of players, like, the mentality, they don't have that, because when it's 0-0, we could be playing Real Madrid, and as long as the score is 0-0, we have a shot. Is that not true?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
anyone could be playing anyone, but as long as the score is 0-0, time is ticking on, they're not scoring, you're not scoring, you always have a chance. But Karius, it was a long ball from, I think it was Toni Kroos, to Benzema,
Yeah,
which
easy save.
which is funny because it was offside.
Yeah.
It was, Benzema was a hair offside had he touched the ball. Now, this is the rule everyone was arguing. But what happens as soon as the keeper touches the ball? The play resets.
Yeah, it's on to the next play, so there's no longer an offsides.
Exactly. And all the players, looked at him, and it was also fair because he didn't try to kick it out of his hands.
Right.
It was just
after
an
the toss.
interception.
Yeah.
The ball was out of his hands, even though it was only like a foot away. But the ball was out of Karius' hands, and the moment it's out of the goalie's hands,
It's fair game.
it's an
100%
interception.
fair
Yeah.
game.
So Karius was the only one to blame there. That is just a rookie mistake.
Yeah, that just shows to his not abilities, but him not ever playing in a big game.
Yeah.
He doesn't get called up for Germany.
Nope.
Like, there's so many goalies in front of him. He
And-
shares minutes.
Yeah.
At Liverpool.
Oh yeah, he didn't even start every game for Liverpool this season.
So he's one of those guys that's out there that doesn't get the time to actually hone his craft. He's never going to be a good goalie unless he can actually just start games.
Oh, absolutely.
He has to be able to go to Liverpool. If he's staying at Liverpool, prove to Jurgen Klopp that he should be the starter and doesn't share minutes with Mignolet.
Exactly.
And that way he can actually get better. You know,
Yeah,
he's talented. That's why
he
he
only
starts.
he had 33 appearances this year, which is more than his 16 last year.
Yeah.
But still,
He's definitely getting
33 out of 55 to 56. When you play the whole Champions League campaign,
Yep.
that's about 55, 56 appearances. You know,
Yeah.
and then the league, and then the cups, and
Exactly.
you need those 50 appearances.
You need those hours.
I get resting 6 games. You know, sometimes like goalies need a rest too.
Yeah, I mean,
if
that's
you have
why
a good goalie behind
De
you,
Gea didn't start against the
Yeah.
championship team in the
yeah,
FA Cup.
yeah, because Romero would. Just
Yeah.
because De Gea was like, yeah, fine.
Even not Romero sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes
the,
you can get a third
the
keeper in
third
there.
guy, I forgot. I don't remember his
Not
name.
Victor Valdez. Remember that?
Not Victor Valdez. No, I don't know. Victor Valdez was gonna be our starter when De Gea almost left.
Oh yeah, yeah. When
That was
Athletic wanted
a
him or
weird. Yeah, De Gea almost left so many times, but that's not the point right now. The second goal.
Yes.
The second goal.
It's gone.
Ah man, what like. I don't even know what to say for the second goal. Like,
Are we talking about the second goal in the game, or are we talking about
The second-
Real Madrid's second goal?
actually, let's talk about the second goal in the game first, which
Yeah.
was a decent
It was
goal.
good. It was a very good set piece play by Liverpool.
Yeah,
Came in the 55th minute, and it was a corner.
yeah.
Yeah. So this corner by yeah, we're watching it right now. Yeah.
I think it was a good goal.
Yeah, it was
I
a James
think,
Milner to was it Robertson?
Yeah,
And then just that flick by-
Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
Was that Robertson? Oh, that's Lovren.
Oh, Lovren.
Yeah, that's Lovren.
Yeah, but everything about that set piece, it was
That was just a
great
good.
set
This
piece,
is
you
a
know?
good set piece. Everyone was on side. Lovren, you know, that's your job as the big center back.
Yeah,
you put
get
the
up
header
there,
in,
get over
get up for
somebody.
it, get over someone, win the header, and then have your strikers follow up. And Mane seemed like one of the only players on the field who wanted it,
Yeah, he definitely really wanted to be out there. He wanted
and
to play.
he
wanted
showed
to
he's
score.
world class.
Yeah, he did.
Mane
The only
really showed
problem
his class.
I had with him during this game was the kind of the same problem I have with Raheem Sterling
Yeah.
and their ability to finish.
Oh yeah.
Because they
absolutely.
get into position perfectly.
And then
They do
don't,
great jobs,
and they don't,
but they
don't
can't
score
finish.
those like good goals, you know.
Of course, I say that as he was the one who scored in the Champions League.
Yeah,
he had
but
so many chances.
oh yeah,
to
he
finish.
did. He really did. And another thing about one of the problems Mane had, because I was talking about this before the Mo Salah injury. So Liverpool were playing a 4-3-3, right? I don't the team sheet was Arnold, Lovren, Van Dijk, Robertson, Carrison goal, Milner, Henderson, and who was it? Wijnaldum in center midfield, and then it was the Trident, right wing Salah, striker Firmino, and left wing Mane. Now here's the problem. This is what happened as soon as Salah got injured. Lallana came on. Lallana cannot play right wing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lallana is a midfield
He's a
type.
center midfielder,
Yeah.
so they changed to a 4-5-1, and Mane was moved out of position to right mid.
Mm-hmm.
Wijnaldum moved to left mid, which is also kind of out of position. Wijnaldum likes to play center mid.
Yeah.
And then it became a 3 midfield, but a very uninspiring midfield when you look at it. Like, it was Henderson, Lallana, and Milner trying to win the midfield battle against Modric, Casemiro, and Kroos.
Yeah, none of those guys, like, even just thinking about it, none of those guys are really offensive type players.
They're not world class.
They're not
And
playmakers.
Lallana can.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Lallana
definitely can.
was he's in the big leagues, dude. This isn't, you're not trying to get past Southampton's defense. You're not
Yeah.
trying to get past like West Brom.
Yeah,
this
none
is
of these-
Real Madrid.
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
Sergio Ramos. This
Yeah.
is Rafael Varane.
Yeah, none
you
of
know?
these players are prolific type players.
No.
You know, when you look at the other side of the ball, you look at, like you said, Kroos. Just Kroos on his own.
Kroos, Modric.
These guys,
Isco.
these guys know how to get past any defense, any midfield in the world. You have to,
Exactly.
if you want to play against these guys, you have to show up in the game. You have to.
Absolutely.
And Liverpool didn't in the midfield. Like last week when we were talking about this game, we said the battle was in the midfield. Real Madrid won the battle in the midfield.
They did. They absolutely did. But then it comes down to, okay, Mane's goal was good, but now the goal that I've been wanting to talk about
Yeah.
for a while.
Bale comes on in
I
the
think it was in the
61st.
61st minute, Bale came on. And it was the
A few minutes later.
Yeah, 1 or 2 minutes later. 64th minute, actually. Yeah, 64th minute, maybe like 2 minutes later. Casemiro plays a long ball to Marcelo, or just like a diagonal to Marcelo from the center. And Marcelo cuts in, makes a cross with his right.
Yeah.
And Marcelo is left-footed.
Yeah, his right foot, and then
Yeah.
it wasn't really the best cross, but
It was
Bale,
it's a good cross
it's a
for
dangerous ball.
It's a dangerous ball, but it almost wasn't even for Bale, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because
He
it
was
was
just trying to
behind
swing
him.
it in.
Yeah, Marcelo just swung it in a dangerous area, and then you just see Bale
And Bale just did
take
something.
one step back, and then
Just
hit
the
it.
absolute athleticism to be able to do that. You know, body's going, the momentum's going
Yeah.
the opposite direction.
Yep.
You're turning around. You have to now. Like, I don't know if you've ever tried a bicycle. Bicycles
I've
are really
tried
hard.
it. I know,
Scorpion
I've
kicks,
tried
they're super
bicycle,
hard.
yeah.
All of that stuff is so hard to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially in the game to just like.
Just
in a
do
game-
it.
Yeah, just to have the focus to do it.
Yeah,
You know, it's a whole different story.
absolutely. And then you have to think about the fall too, because
Yeah.
so many players will hurt themselves in the fall. But
Yeah, I mean,
just the
Zidane.
way he hit it, he almost chipped it.
Yeah.
He got like so much topspin on it, and Zidane lost his mind. Zidane could not believe what
Yeah,
he just
that,
saw.
that reaction is just. I think it was all of our reactions.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if you were a Real fan or
Oh
not.
man, I was we were watching this game together,
Yeah.
and I was at the bar, and honestly, I was dancing with some Real Madrid fans, and I'd never seen them in my life, but you know, it was just something you don't see, you know.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, Bale's goal, you gotta watch it. We can't,
Yeah,
we
there's
can
no way to
describe
really
it.
describe.
We can describe it all you want. It was a bicycle kick. You're taking steps back, but when you watch it, you see what we're talking about. Right after that, though, Sadio Mane almost equalized.
Yeah, what's
Almost
the
made
most
it-
dangerous time
yeah.
to score is right after you
Yep.
get scored on because they're sitting back.
What was that? That Sadio Mane's chance was in the 70th minute. So like just 5 minutes, 6 minutes later, Mane, that was close, man.
Yeah, I mean there was nothing else he could do. There's only so much you can wrap your foot when you're
And,
going in that direction, you know.
Yeah, Messi would have, like some of the big players would have scored that, but I think Mane was just dealt a bad hand this game.
Yeah, yeah, it kind of just
That
all
was also
fell.
on the wrong foot.
Yeah, it kind of just all fell to him.
Yeah,
this game, you know?
and like he can do that, he can be your talisman, but not against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
That's like, they're just not good enough. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And right after that, Mane, Glorious Carriers to the rescue again for Madrid.
Yeah, well,
What was that?
That's another.
When you saw that live, didn't you think he saved it? Like initially, for a second?
Yeah, I thought he would,
I
I thought he would be able to punch it. In my head,
I thought he was just going to hit it away,
Yeah.
because like when it hit his hands, I did not, I stopped looking, because as soon as I saw it hit his hands, I didn't look, and then it's like, I look again, and the ball is in the net. and
yeah,
I'm
exactly. It
what?
looked like it should have gone out.
Yeah, because it hit his hands perfectly. Like, if you watch it and like I'm watching it in a little bit of slow motion right now, that was just terrible goalkeeping.
Yeah,
that
it was-
movement. Like
I mean,
I
I
don't
get
care
that-
who you are,
I get that Gareth Bale, like he's got a cannon.
but dude, like
He got all of that shot.
just punch
but
it, man.
that's one of those ones you gotta know, you know.
you just punch it.
You gotta know. You gotta
it's
punch
straight
it.
at
You gotta
you.
get it
just
out there.
Up, just
Yeah.
up. You
As a
see,
goalkeeper-
you see even the best goalies in the world, guys like Neuer, De Gea, they don't try to catch those.
No, they don't take a risk.
No, that's what you don't think they can catch those? They can absolutely catch those. Like in practice,
Yeah,
they
or they
probably
hit it
catch
down.
those. Yeah, in practice they probably catch those all the time. But yeah, they always hit it down. Karius tried to catch it like ahead of his face, right?
Yeah,
kind
he
of
tried
like
to catch. It was like he tried to catch a football.
catch it midair. Yeah.
Yeah, he
And,
jumps
like,
up in the air and tries to catch it. Hands aren't strong enough for a shot like that. I don't
No.
care who you are. Your hand's not going to be strong
And
enough
his
against a
hands
shot like
just
that.
move.
You have
maybe,
that.
maybe Manuel Neuer.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Manuel Neuer is probably the only person that could.
He's like
but
he's a
even
freak.
like I was saying,
Yeah.
in that situation as a goalie, you have to have the IQ as a soccer player to
Yeah.
realize that, oh, should I catch this or should I punch this? Every time you should be punching it out.
Yeah.
Just be safe. Get it
Absolutely.
out because at that moment, if Karius punches that out, they're still in the game.
Yeah.
Liverpool still has a chance.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, even though Karius made one mistake earlier, they were in this game. They were still fighting.
Oh yeah.
You know.
And it because the thing was Liverpool could have scored a goal another goal it would have all changed if Mane's goal would have gone in. That's
Right.
what it comes down to. If Mane's goal would have gone in, but that's just luck at that point, like a little bit of luck. But then when you look at the whole picture, did Madrid deserve to win? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, they were out for the best team that day.
Yeah.
Even without.
They were the best team in this Champions League.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really argue that. They've just won their third in a row. I know anyone who doesn't like Madrid can make excuses, but Madrid just won their third Champions League in a row. no one has any right to say a team they support is better than Madrid right now, because they're not. No team you support is better than Madrid right now, because that's just a false statement. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because 3 Champions Leagues in a row. I mean, come on. And
yeah, there's nothing really you can say.
Yeah, there's nothing like you can talk anyone can talk all they want. It's the trophies, you know.
Yeah. At the end of the day, who's winning all these trophies?
Yeah, and they've won 4 in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
that's the team.
That's an incredible stat. In any sport, you don't see that.
Yeah, and this is not the league. You know, you can't have like a domination on this. This is all the best teams in Europe every year. Different teams, different players, all vying for the same thing, and you know they've won it every single year. And Zidane, well, it's incredible.
Yeah,
man.
Zidane has really, really proven that he is a coach that can coach anyone. He was thrown into the fire when I honestly thought he got thrown into the fire when he was hired.
And they were actually
well.
4th or 5th when he got hired, and he got them to 2nd place.
Yeah.
And won them a Champions League in the first season.
Yeah, exactly.
Half a season.
Yeah, and then think about it. It's not just like you think of like the teams, the mid-table teams in the Premier League, or the bottom teams sacking their coach and looking for someone else, and them trying to rebuild something. He almost rebuilt the team that they already had. That's what he had to do. He had Modric.
Yeah.
He had Bale. He had Ronaldo. He had Benzema. He had the team basically that he has right now, minus Casemiro and a couple guys that weren't there then. And he was able to turn that team around. He didn't have to add anything. He didn't have to get rid of players.
He had Casemiro too.
Did he? Was Casemiro
Casemiro was like, I think Casemiro was like a Mourinho signing.
Okay.
Or Mourinho or like someone after that. Like Casemiro was not. I don't think he was a Zidane signing, but Casemiro didn't play for the last manager.
Yeah.
Like when Casemiro, like I remember when Casemiro moved to Madrid. Casemiro was almost sold from Madrid multiple times. Like, because, I mean, Casemiro used to be, it's funny, he used to be one of the wonder kids on FIFA. And that's the reason I've known who Casemiro is since he was 18. You know, like, because I play a lot of FIFA, and, like, I would always sign him for my, you know, club at the time. But when he moved to Madrid in 2013, he was 21. And that actually might be, and he played for Real Madrid B for a while. And got no starts for Madrid. They liked to play Khedira at the time.
Yeah,
Khedira. They liked to play Khedira at the time, and then Khedira left. And then the manager after him decided to play Cruz as a CDM. Like, you remember when Cruz, Isco, and Modric would play CDM? Like, this weak midfield.
Yeah.
Like, such a weak midfield. And Zidane, the first thing he did was just push Casemiro into the midfield. In that CDM position, and he said, you know, you're going to be my destroyer.
Yep.
And ever since he's done that, man, Casemiro's turned into one of the best. It's just let Cruz and Modric do whatever they want.
Exactly.
Because Casemiro is like a Busquets, but he's also like a Conte, where he runs around, he makes tackles, he rocks into players, he's a big guy, but he has that touch and pass and shot as well. Yeah. Which is just rare in soccer these days, you know?
Yeah, it really is. Like we were talking about a few weeks ago, how
like
a lot of teams don't have these kind of players.
You
like
just don't have
like
CDMs.
Yeah.
And then Liverpool, we go back to Liverpool. I think Liverpool lost the battle you said in midfield, but like one of the biggest things is Jordan Henderson gets way too much credit for how good he is. When you watch I watched Jordan Henderson play in this game, and I was talking to this with Raxon earlier as well. When Jordan Henderson gets an inch of pressure, or you don't even have to be pressuring him, you just have to be a good player ahead of him. I watched multiple clips of the game, and all you see Henderson do the moment there's even a hint of pressure is turn around, pass it to his right back or his center back. He doesn't want the ball. He doesn't want responsibility. Cruz, it was in the 50th or the 60th minute, Ronaldo was telling Cruz, like pointing at him, like pressure Henderson. Cruz was like, no. He just stood with Wijnaldum. Henderson had about 15 yards ahead of him to get into. Turns around, passes it back. And then Cruz looks, you see Cruz and Ronaldo share a glance. Like, you realize that, you know, the opposing midfield realizes by the 50th or 60th minute playing a player, and they probably knew this from before, the moment you pressure Henderson, he either takes a bad touch because he doesn't have a good first touch, and you know, like that cannot be an excuse. You know, when you're playing for Liverpool or one of these big clubs, in general, just playing for Liverpool, you cannot have a bad first touch, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I've seen him mess up, like, these passes, like, so many passes, and it's like, how, you're a professional footballer, you know? How do you have a bad first touch playing center midfield?
Yeah.
You know, like, I just baffles me. And it's his leadership, it's hard work, tackling, yeah, that gets him through. But, you know, he's nothing more than, like, a glorified Lucas Leiva. Remember Lucas Leiva?
Yeah.
That's what Henderson is.
Yeah.
But now, and that Lucas Leiva is the same thing. He had Suarez playing against him that let him hide in the shadows, and Suarez would just carry the team.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucas Leiva didn't ever have to, you know, do anything. But the moment a guy like Salah goes off the field, suddenly Henderson needs to take responsibility as captain, and what does he do? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. All right, so that's going to be enough time for the Champions League final. We need to move on, but we will take a short break real fast. So we'll be right back with our start of the World Cup. Good. While we're in this break, we will also like to mention our sponsor, Espresso Art Cafe here in Tucson, Arizona. Danny has so graciously let us record our podcast in here, and he's just a great overall guy. You know, we love Danny. Everything we do here is because of Danny.
Absolutely.
And all the support for everything, and it's a great little spot too. I've been coming here since 2012, and it's a cafe, hookah lounge, and a bar. So we come here in the morning, get coffee and a bagel, come hang out in the afternoon with some hookah and drink till close. You know, you can do anything you really need here. And we watch football here, we watch everything here, hang out with people here. It's a great little spot. So we do thank Danny for allowing us to record our podcast in here. All right, and we're back from our little break. And all right, we're 2 weeks out. We need to start talking about the elephant in the room.
From the biggest game of the season to the biggest cup of the year.
Exactly.
Or, you know, of the 4 years.
Of the 4 years, yes. The World Cup this summer in Russia. Before we start talking about the groups, let's first start with our favorites to win and why. Then we'll kind of go down the rabbit hole of the groups and talk about each group and so on and so forth. So, all right, KP, so who do you like?
You know who I like? I like Spain.
Yeah, of course you like Spain.
I like Spain, and I honestly think this year, like, I've always supported Spain. It's not like I'm just like this tournament. Like, I saw them, you know, in the Euro, last Euros, they were terrible. Last World Cup, they were terrible. Of course, they did win 2 Euros and a World Cup before that, but you know, I think the team is now finally, like, they've gone away from that old, you know what I'm talking about? Like, that old Spain team that was the team for, like, so long.
Yeah, that was, like, you look at the team that won that World Cup and won that Euro, you look at the team now, and it's so different.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so different.
Absolutely. And, like, I think from that old team, from that team that won the first Euro, you know, I was pretty young. I don't remember. I definitely know in the first Euro team, the guys that were there that are still there were Ramos, Piqué. I think Piqué was there.
Yeah, Piqué was there
in 2008. Like, I think he was up and comer.
Yeah, Jordi Alba was there.
No,
not
too young.
The first.
I'm thinking 2008, but 2012, yeah.
Jordi Alba was there.
2012 for sure. We had Ramos, we had Piqué, we had Jordi Alba, we had Busquets, we had David Silva, we had Iniesta, and I look at the rest of Pepe Reina was still there. He was still too, yeah. But Pedro, but yeah, those are like the 8 players out of the 23-man squad who were still there. I think there were 8 players who played in 2012. 2008, I don't remember. Honestly, like, it was a while ago.
That's a very long time. But why do you like them now?
This is funny though. In the reserves, like the 5 guys who are subs, there's another guy who was in 2008, 2010, and 2012. David Villa. He's actually on standby.
Yeah.
They have David Villa on standby. That's incredible. Well, who wouldn't want to see
He was
David
a kid.
Villa in a World Cup
2008,
again?
he was
2008 and 2010.
Yeah.
And like he was key. He was key.
Yeah, that was
for
still
them.
what 2008 was still before he came to Barcelona, right?
It
Or
might
he had
have been.
just moved to Barcelona.
It might have been like. Yeah, those are a different team. That was like when Marco Senna still played.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. But Spain, I like them. They look good in every position. You know, like, just, I'll give you a quick, like, starting 11, what I think it would be. It'll probably be De Gea, Carvajal if he's not injured, Ramos, Piqué, Jordi Alba on the left, and then we have Azpilicueta as a substitute, you know, great substitute. Nacho Fernandez as a substitute as well, like, good defensive substitutes. In midfield, this is the hard part because Spain has so many good midfielders. But I can definitely see Koke starting. Maybe Javi Martinez. Like, I don't know who's going to be in that CDM role, but it's definitely Koke and Iniesta are probably going to start. Asenjo, Isco, like, Spain just has depth, man.
Yeah,
Like, when you really look at the team, Saul,
Yeah.
Aduriz, Herrera, Aspas, who had an incredible season this year. Like, yeah, Diego Costa. Like, yeah, Spain has depth. And I think, like, this team, it's their turn to show what they're made of, you know? Iniesta is the only real stalwart still left. Like, everyone else, most of the other guys were kids, like, when all these tournaments started.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What about you? What's your favorite team?
I think,
for the
you know,
World Cup?
I gotta go with the repeat. I gotta go with Germany.
You're going with the
I'm gonna
repeat.
go with Germany. I'm gonna go
Man.
with a repeat this year. I think it's a little different of a team than they had last time.
Yeah.
I think the team before was very strong. You know,
Yeah.
very strong defensive team where
Yeah.
it was very hard to break them down. You see, they return with a lot of the same players at this World Cup that they did last one.
Yeah.
But I think the difference is the additions of certain players here that make Germany not just that strong team, that strong defensively,
Yeah.
but they're quick now. They also add that quickness up top. I remember the last time we were talking, who was the striker? Who's going to play
Yeah.
offense? Last time,
No.
because they didn't bring Gomez, they didn't have a striker. This time around, they bring Gomez.
Yeah.
But now you have the additions of Leroy Sané, you have Ginter, Wagner,
These, like,
Rudy,
kids, yeah.
Brandt, all these
Yeah.
young kids that these guys know how to play. Draxler,
Oh, yeah.
Werner made the team.
Werner is...
These are all
he's
great
incredible.
young
Werner
talent that
is
have
an
pace
incredible
and
player,
strength.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the way they can line up. They could line up 100 different ways and probably win the World Cup.
But you don't think that's a problem? Like a little bit?
I don't think that's a problem because Joachim Löw is not the what's his name for Mexico, the coach from Mexico, who's the tinkerer. You know, every game is a different roster.
No.
But
he's not. Definitely
So
not.
your main team is going to be Neuer, Hummels, Boateng, Kimmich, and probably Hector playing left back.
Hector
If you're
will
going
definitely
four in the
play
back,
left back.
right? In your midfield, you're obviously going to have Kroos in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, you're obviously going to have Khedira playing CDM.
Mm.
And then
And
after
you're obviously gonna have Ozil.
Yeah,
like
and Ozil.
Ozil is one guy. Like he gets a lot of stick from your fans,
Yeah.
you know, Arsenal fans. But like Germany, he always plays.
he shows up to every tournament.
And
He
he
starts.
always plays. He always starts, and he does well.
Yeah.
It's not. He doesn't just he's not just there as a bystander. Ozil does well.
Yeah, but say you want to be more aggressive, you start on your offense. Maybe you start Werner with Sané on the wing and Goretzka.
Goretzka or Draxler.
Yeah. Oh, say you want
And
to play.
Goretzka can do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Goretzka can play anywhere.
Yeah, but now say you want to play not as aggressive. Maybe your team you're playing against a team where you want to be more defensive.
Yeah,
You bring on
have options.
You can start Rudiger
Yeah.
as a 5-man in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you add
Sula.
Yeah, or Guanuan.
Oh yeah, exactly. No,
You
it's
have all these different options that give you this versatility.
Yeah.
That I don't think there are any other teams.
And
with it.
Neuer's coming back from injury, so give Ter Stegen a chance. Like he's just as good a goalkeeper.
You lose Neuer, but you still have Ter Stegen. You still have Trapp. These
Yeah.
are incredible keepers.
It is.
Leno is still on the team.
Yeah.
To think that Leno is a number 3 or number 4 is incredible because he's a great keeper.
Yeah. No.
You know?
Absolutely.
If he was in Germany, he'd start for the whatever nation he was.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I mean, but we can get to like all the teams. We'll probably do a little bit of a intro to all the teams. We just wanted to get the ones that we support out of the way first. But should we start talking about
Yeah, let's start talking about the groups.
Group A?
Yeah, so we'll start obviously with Group A.
Yeah.
The home nation in Group A, so the teams are Russia, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay.
Yeah.
And of course, the big news for this group is Mo Salah with his injury, and we now know that he will play. But we were talking about earlier, you know, you may be fit. They may say you're fit to play, but you're not going to be fit in the game.
Are you? You know.
Yeah. So with that, if he plays, you know, what do you think the outcome will be like if he plays or he doesn't play? You know, maybe he has to play against Uruguay. He's going to have to play against Russia because for Egypt, without him, none of these are guaranteed wins.
No, absolutely.
You know, I think Egypt is a good team. I think they're a very solid team.
I watched their first friendly. It was against Kuwait, and it was 1-1.
Yeah, there you go. So it's
mean,
they're a good team, but they're not world beaters.
They have some they have some decent players. Like they have El Neni from Arsenal, and you know El Neni, he's not a bad player. Like El Neni is not a bad player. Tariq Hamed, like I've been reading about him a little bit. He's a good cam. He can do a lot. And Ahmad Hassan, he's like really good at maybe not, they're not at the level, but you know, like World Cup is one of those stages where you know you can get a chance to, you know, do something where when you wouldn't usually, like you might be playing for these small nations, but like Egypt, I think, and Ramadan Sobi, he's actually played in the Premier League too. I think he's played for Stoke City. And these players, like, they know how to play with each other. And they're not almost a lot. He is the main man. And, like, the way they line up is usually, I think it's a 4-2-3-1 with Salah on the right wing. But, like, what they are trying to do, like, I think their goal is, of course, to get the ball to Mo Salah.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, El Neni is a good player. Hamed is a good player. Ramadan Sobi is a good player. I think they could cause some problems.
Yeah, I definitely think they could cause some problems. Definitely having Salah is definitely going to help them out because teams are going to focus on Salah, and that's just going to open the game up for everyone else.
Exactly.
And like I've seen them play, like in the last Olympics when Salah played for Egypt in the Olympics. What did they do? They destroyed teams.
Yeah.
They got past teams. El Neni was there too. They were a great team.
Yeah.
They're, I think, a team that people were sleeping on, and think that Mo Salah can't carry them. Well, Mo Salah doesn't have to carry them. I think they are good enough to beat Saudi Arabia.
Absolutely.
I think they're for sure good enough to beat Saudi Arabia, and I think they're good enough to get a result against Russia.
Even like they don't need Mo Salah to carry them, and like El Neni and Hamed can, I know what they're gonna like have two CDMs just sit there, defense is gonna stay tight, and they're gonna let the top three do the work.
Yeah.
You know, but they have a good striker too. You know,
and their defense is strong. Gabber plays for LAFC. You know, right now, and he's crucial for their defense.
Higazi plays for West Brom.
Yeah.
No, like this is not a team to sleep on.
No, not at all.
And they're definitely gonna. They could win. They could even win the group, man. Like you never know.
Yeah, it's the World Cup.
It's the World Cup. You know.
Who knows? Uruguay drops a game.
Uruguay
draws with Saudi Arabia.
What does it take in the World Cup? It takes one bad game.
Yep.
It always takes one bad game in the World Cup, and like that's it. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So I really think it's gonna come down to those two teams. I think it's gonna be Egypt and Uruguay getting out of the group.
Yeah.
I mean, Uruguay is a great, solid team. We know that.
Absolutely,
you know? They're going to be a tough team to beat, but Uruguay is also one of those teams that, you know, they get out of their group and then they fuck it up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Do you wanna talk about Uruguay's squad a little bit?
Yeah. Let's do it. I'm pulling it up right now.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have
Uruguay. Yeah, Uruguay are gonna. So they're probably gonna go with a 4-4-2. I think with Muslera in goal. And then they have, you know, Godin and Jimenez, which is just...
Great defense.
Right?
Yeah.
And Martin Saceres, again, strong player, has been around Europe, you know, not just one, as Mourinho would say, not just one of the Boto. Yeah. You know, he's like, he's played everywhere. Vecino, very good CDM, but has a pass in him too. Has a pass, has a shot, you know, he can do. And the other CDM, you know, it can be one or the other. It's not for sure. And Christian Rodriguez, I think, might be playing his last tournament. Who's a key wide player. And I remember Christian Rodriguez as a kid, you know, in the 2010 World Cup. It's strange.
Yeah, I do.
And then, of course, you know, the top two.
Yeah, Edison Cavani, Luis Suarez.
Suarez.
And I think I don't think Cavani gets as much credit as he does because he plays in France, but I think Cavani's definitely one of the best in the world.
Oh, he is. And with
Cavani's-
Suarez?
Yeah, with Suarez, those two are a dangerous
Oh,
combination.
yeah.
They
And
are one combination.
another key player, like Suarez, Cavani, everyone knows. You know,
Yeah.
everyone knows what we're going to say. But one of the key players that I think might do something is Nandez. I don't know if you've seen him on the squad. He plays for Boca Juniors, and he's like 21 or 22 years old. And yeah, he is a great, he's a tricky winger.
Yeah.
And those guys, big stages, they either like disappear or they do amazingly. And maybe he might do amazingly, you never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Uruguay, what do you think about like Cavani, Suarez?
I think this is a very well balanced team that they're bringing out.
Yeah.
They've got definitely, I think, one of the better defenses in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Jimenez and Godin, you see what they do at Atletico.
Oh, yeah.
We could watch Uruguay play, and it's probably going to look like a Simeone coach team.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's probably what it's going to look like. And
Yeah.
I think that's going to be tough to beat, especially for some teams. I think Russia is definitely going to have their trouble with Uruguay. I think
Yep.
Egypt's going to have their trouble with Uruguay when it comes down to it.
Absolutely.
Because they're strong in the defense. Maybe they're not the strongest team in the midfield of the World Cup.
Yeah, they're not. They're
But-
definitely not.
but
But,
they make
like
up
they have
for it.
some decent players though.
Yeah, but they make up for it.
Yeah.
They know how to play defense. They're Uruguay's one of those teams that's always very aggressive. A team that always gets a lot of fouls.
Yeah,
Teams that make you
absolutely.
work for your win. And of course, with Cavani and Suarez at the top, though, like if they can get their
Yeah.
ball to the final third, they will score goals.
Yeah.
These guys know how to put the ball in the back of the net. These guys do not
Absolutely.
have problems in
No,
the final third.
you know it. You know they're gonna do well. Let's get to Russia's World Cup.
Russia.
And the World Cup is in Russia. Very controversial World Cup. With all the FIFA things that happen, the FIFA scandals and everything. But the World Cup is still happening in Russia. We know that. And Russia, the last tournament they did really well at was Euro 2008. I'm pretty sure they made the semifinals. And that was a team with Akinfeev, who's still there. Yuri Zhirkov. Do you remember Zhirkov?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
played for Chelsea for a while. And Zhirkov was much younger. Zhirkov is actually playing this year too. And Samedov, but he was a substitute then. But the main players back then were, Andrei Arshavin, Roman Pavlyuchenko, the Berzutsky brothers.
Yeah, guys who actually played outside of
Like,
Russia.
yeah, and these guys were all, but that was also like with the golden age of the Russian leagues.
Yeah.
Like that was when the Russian leagues were constantly making Champions League. Like Berzutskis, like do you remember those two twins, the big twins, like
Yeah.
who were just they were scary guys to play against, and that was a great Russian team. Is this Russian team like that? Absolutely not.
No, absolutely not. No, the quality of Russia's national team has definitely gone down in
Yeah.
the past couple years. They're definitely looking at this team, man, it's
Akinfeev. Defense, like I don't know a single player on their defense. They're probably gonna play like a 5-back. Yeah, I don't know a single player on their
Yeah,
defense.
I don't know what
Yeah,
Russia's gonna end up
I know
doing.
Samedov and Zhirkov, who are right wing backs, kind of okay. And Smolov is a good striker. Golovin is a young guy. Zhagoev, I don't know if he's fit right now or not, but he's a really good player, but gets injured a lot.
yeah. Yeah, I don't
And-
know what Russia's gonna do. Maybe they just
Yeah.
come out super defensive, park the bus, because
I
as of
I
right
don't
now,
think they have good players. I don't think they're gonna park the bus, but like they're not gonna do very well. I don't think they're getting.
I don't
out
think
of
they
the
make it
group.
out of the group, and it would only be the second host nation ever to not make it out of the group.
South Africa.
Yeah,
First
South
one?
Africa was the other
Yeah.
one.
But yeah, no, I mean, if they do make it out of the group, it's the weather that's gonna help them. You
Yeah.
know, because
Yeah, it's playing at home.
a team like Egypt is gonna have a hard time in Russia, I think, to play.
Yeah.
You know, teams like Egypt, they don't play in conditions like that. Their qualifying was in Africa.
Yeah.
Now they're playing the World Cup in Russia. People don't
It's gonna be
realize,
different. It's gonna
like
be very
South
different.
Korea, the South Korean World Cup. Was one of the best for you.
Oh
You're
yeah,
South
we made
Korean.
it to the semis.
Yeah, but like, how many teams struggled with the heat that year? Do you remember that?
Yeah, the heat and humidity.
Yeah,
Humidity
people
can be real bad.
like the Europeans could not handle it.
Yeah.
But let's get to the last team of the group, which is Saudi Arabia.
Another one of those unknown teams this year.
Yeah,
That
I
made it in.
don't know a lot about Saudi Arabia. The only guy from Saudi Arabia that I do know is Mohammed Al Salavi,
Yeah.
who scores a goal, more than a goal a game, or more than a goal every other game, which is it's pretty good. And he is a striker who can't score. Like, there is no doubt in my mind. There's really, like, in my mind, there's no one else really to talk about for Saudi Arabia. But Mohamed Al Salawi, he's 31 years old. He has 28 goals in 38 games for Saudi Arabia, which is a great goal-scoring record. And he has, in about 230 appearances, he has about 150 goals for his clubs, which is all in Saudi Arabia. But Saudi Arabia League is not as bad as a lot of people think.
No, it's not as bad.
They're a decent league. They have some decent teams. So,
but yeah, if you look at
it's on his back, you know.
Yeah. If you look at their recent results, though, they're one of those teams that are kind of like all over the place.
Oh yeah.
You know, they drop a game 2-1 to Italy, but then they beat Algeria 2-0. And Algeria is, you know, we all know is a very strong African country. But then again, and then they drop 4-0 to Belgium. And then they tie with the Ukraine. Then they lose to Iraq 4-1.
Oh yeah.
You know, these are teams.
And he's actually scored against Spain.
Yeah, like these are very strange games for Saudi Arabia because it looks like they should be able to.
They're not a bad team.
They're not a bad team, but they drop a lot of games.
Yeah,
they
get
scored on a lot.
World Cup again, 3 games. Let's see what happens, you know.
Yeah.
So real quick, Group A, who's going up?
I think Uruguay wins the group. I think Egypt gets out.
I think I'm gonna go with Egypt winning the group and Uruguay coming second.
You think they're gonna drop a game somewhere?
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be comfortable for both those teams.
Yeah.
Because they're both gonna beat Russia and Saudi.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, I think Egypt will edge Uruguay, but I think Russia and Saudi are just not gonna have a chance.
No, I don't. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be like one of those 9-6-3 groups.
Yeah.
Maybe. If Egypt can win 3 games. Like, I think Egypt can win all their games.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to Group B while we still have time.
Okay.
Your team's in this group.
Yeah.
So it's Spain.
So we've already talked about my team.
Spain, Portugal, Morocco, Iran. I mean, I think this is a lot like the last group. Iran and Morocco, you know, virtually unknowns.
Yeah. I mean, Morocco has some players, and, you know, I mean, Portugal is a great team and all, and Spain is a great team and all, but we've seen Spain kicked out of competitions. I mean, just like the Euro, where Netherlands absolutely destroyed us.
Yeah.
Or in the World Cup. I don't think we made past the group in the World Cup. Or if
you didn't. In the last World Cup, you didn't.
We didn't, right? No, yeah. And so, I know I'm a Spain fan and stuff, but, like, talking as, you know, just as, like, a pundit, like, talking as just someone who's, analyzing it, like, you know, Spain and Portugal, there is a chance that they don't make it out. Like, well, what do you think about that?
You know, if this was the last World Cup, I would agree with you.
But you think they both look stronger now?
I think both teams in the past couple of years since those World Cups, they have changed a lot.
Yeah.
They've changed. The teams have definitely changed a lot. I think Spain is a lot better team this time around. I think the last World Cup they were stuck in that whole, do we bring the young kids or don't bring the young kids?
Yeah.
You know, it's like how the U.S. didn't make the World Cup. The same thing. They held on to those core players, those older players, and didn't let the youngsters come in. And it.
Yeah.
What happened? They didn't end up making.
Yeah. No. I mean, but that's the thing. Like, a lot of people don't realize, like, just legs. Once your legs are gone, like, you know, any team can beat you. If you're getting outrun,
yeah,
you can lose the games. But I think Portugal, we can talk about. We already talked about what I think about Spain and how I think they'll line up. You know,
let's look at Portugal's
Spain.
last.
Let's look at Portugal. The lineup is probably going to be Patricio, Cedric, Pepe, Bruno Alves, Rafael Guerrero, William Carvalho, João Mourinho, Bernardo Silva, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Andre Silva. Bruno Alves, old guy, so I don't know.
He's just there.
He's there, but Gonzalo Guedes got a team of the season this year. Pretty sure he was like in the team of the season for La Liga this year. He plays for Valencia, and he is, you know, a mercurial left winger. Who does that sound like? You know?
Yeah. No, but I think this is a very interesting team to me for Portugal because we see a lot of the guys that we always see. We see Pepe, we see Casemiro, we see Andre Silva.
Yeah.
But you've sprinkled in with these guys that are definitely coming up, like Guerrero.
Exactly.
You know, Fonte. You know, these are guys that you don't really think about as much as Portuguese players, but the last couple of years they're starting to come back up.
Yeah, exactly. And Fonte is old, man. Like,
Yeah, I know Fonte's old, but we don't talk about Fonte like we
yeah,
do, like we
no,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
Casemiro or
This is
Ronaldo.
definitely Fonte's last tournament
Yeah.
too.
But he's been playing pretty well.
Yeah, he has. Do you what do you think is gonna be like? What is Spain? Just coming back to them for one more second, because I don't think we. Do you think this is gonna be another Spain tiki taka, or is the fresh, like breath of fresh air, like guys like Asenjo, guys like that? Are they gonna do it? Because what I think Spain is gonna start with is De Gea, Piqué, Ramos. I didn't clearly give an answer last time, but De Gea, Piqué, Ramos, Carvajal, Alba, Busquets, Iniesta, Thiago, Silva, Costa, and Isco or Asenjo. But I think Isco will probably start on the left wing and Silva on the right wing. What you see straight away from this team, there's no pace.
Yeah.
But like Spain has never had pace, like almost never had pace. But on the bench now, at least now on the bench, they have guys like Asenjo, Jose Callejon, Rodrigo. These are pace demons. Like all three of these guys can run. They can get past a guy, and having subs like that, it's pretty good because like they've never had subs like that before.
Yeah, I think that's where Spain is very different from before.
Yeah.
Is that they have, again, like Germany, they have a versatility.
Yeah.
They have the ability to change
their
team.
They have the quick options now.
Yeah, they can change their team
Yeah.
to the situation.
If they need someone to get in behind, they have Rodrigo. Like the only option used to be Fernando Torres, who wasn't as quick either. Like so. At that point, like there were no options, especially in those teams. And when the moment the tiki taka goes wrong, I mean that's when, it doesn't work as well. But how much time do we have left?
We've got about 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay. In those 5 minutes, let's quickly give some time to Morocco and a little bit of time to Iran.
Yeah, I mean, Morocco's got a pretty, we know a lot of these guys. When we're looking at Benatia, Ziyech, Hakimi, like these are not bad players at all.
No.
But do I think they're getting out of the group against Portugal and Spain? No, I don't think so. I think this is one of those teams that are going to put up a fight, but I think Spain beats them handily, but maybe they put up a point against Portugal.
And Portugal is known to, just mess up.
Yeah. The last World Cup, they almost lost to the U.S.
Yeah, exactly.
If it wasn't for that last minute. No, they did tie, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're definitely one of those teams that could drop a game. Maybe they drop a game to Morocco.
Yeah.
And I think Morocco beats Iran. Is that enough to get out of the group? Maybe.
Probably not.
But probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, not with this team. I mean, it's a good team of young players, but I just don't see it. I think Portugal's good enough to get out of the group as well.
I mean, they have some, like, Belhanda. They have some guys, Benashi, as you said. And they did have one of the best defensive records in knockouts, which is, like, pretty good. But, yeah, do they get out? Probably not. Yeah. And Iran... What about Iran? They have one guy who I know is pretty good. I think he plays in the Netherlands. Jahan Bakshish or something. He's definitely good. But other than that, also a lot of these Muslim countries are gonna have a problem though, because Ramadan is on.
Yeah.
And they're fasting.
Yeah.
They're fasting, and
and some of them will break it though.
I mean,
because there are players that have said they will break it, and players say they won't break it. Like Mo Salah said, he wouldn't break fast for Champions League.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he did.
No way. Yeah, he definitely didn't.
But
so that's another interesting addition to some of these teams.
Yeah, that when you think about it, was his injury because he hadn't eaten anything before the game?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. All right, so who do you think is gonna? At the end of the day, we both agree it's Spain and Portugal finishing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. I think both these teams are good enough. They're both a lot of question marks for both these teams, but I think this is a group that they can both get out of.
Yeah, I think they'll make it out pretty comfortably.
Yeah. All right, so that's all the time we have for today for the World Cup. We only got through 2 groups, so we're definitely going to talk about as many groups as we can next time before the World Cup. We need to get these out before the World Cup starts.
Exactly. We will.
Yeah, we'll get them out. But we thank everyone for listening for another week of the BAM Banter podcast. So we will be back every single Sunday. We are posting late this week because we were very busy last week. We weren't able to get this up. But we will be back again on Sundays So please join us again. They'll be posted about noon, 1 o'clock around there.
Yeah.
And we hope you all join us next time for another episode of the Band Panther podcast, the soccer edition. Thank you all for listening.